Hey guys, welcome back. Sitting in the garage here with my buddy. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, I'm Buzz Burline.
Buzz, where you from?
Gainesville, Florida, and I'm a fishing guide with Kingfisher Kayak Adventures and a tournament angler regionally and nationally in the kayak tournaments.
So what are we doing up here? Where are we at?
Yeah, so we're at Lake Chickamauga here in Dayton, Tennessee, and I came up and Johnny came down from his area. We met here so we could explore the lake a little bit before it goes off limits for a tournament that I have next month, late next month, which is the national championship of the Bassmaster Kayaks series. So it's kind of like the Bassmaster Classic for kayaks.
Nice. Buzz, you were able to find us a nice place here in Dayton, Tennessee, right?
Yeah, the PB Lodge is awesome. If you have a boat, I would highly recommend it because you can park your boat in one of these garages if it's raining or you want to gear up for a tournament. You can do it. There's heaters, all sorts of great things. The rooms are really nice, very clean, and it's centralized. So this Chickamauga is a huge lake. It's like 60 miles long, something like that. And you're kind of right in the middle. You can go north or south and be in good shape.
Yeah. I spent this morning, getting tackle ready. I had a bunch of rods in the truck and brought them, put them in the boat. That way it was one less thing I had to do when I got to the boat ramp. Speaking of boat ramps, Buzz, you remember where we launched from today?
I don't, sorry.
Yeah, it was Harrison Bay, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And this is my first time out in the water too. And one of the things I thought was really interesting about fishing this body of water is, I think when we first started, that water was like really clean, right? And then as we got into the river, it muddied up, and then we went towards the marina, and then it got, cleaned up. So maybe you can kind of talk to the viewers a little bit about that, and
Yeah,
used to seeing that?
I mean, the water is under 50 degrees. It's like 48, 49 degrees most of the day. So just like anywhere you fish, we're always looking for clean water where we thought more fish would be. So we found some of that, and for me, it was just to get an idea of, so the next time I come down for practice, it's easier for me to find spots. But yeah, we found some good spots in 5 foot of water. I mean, I pretty much watch you catch fish all day. I caught my PB bluegill today. Maybe you'll probably show it later in the video, but it was great. We had a good time. We really didn't pick up until it warmed up throughout the day.
Yeah. And, the main goal today was, again, just to kind of drive around the lake, look at all the different boat ramps, kind of figure out where Buzz could launch from, depending on the conditions. And they got to see some of the structure with rocks and whatnot. Because in Florida, you used to fish in grass, right?
Yeah. And sometimes with the crankbait or whatever I was using, I would pick up some grass. But, yeah, it's nothing like fishing in north central Florida where I'm at. So it was a challenge for me. So it was good because I got to use things I've never used before or haven't used in a long time. So yeah, had a good time.
Yeah. If you had to say a pattern that we got on today, or some of the fish that I caught, maybe you can kind of talk a little bit about that, or what we're trying to replicate.
Yeah, I think we were in 4 and 5 foot of water. We transition zones between a lot of fallen rock and like a beach area that seemed to be where we caught them late in the day. Also, it was on the, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but it was getting a lot of afternoon sun in there. So I imagine the fish were finally warming up. When we started, I had frost on my windows. It was like 28 degrees. So we haven't seen 28 degrees in Florida in a long time. So for me, it was a different experience.
Yeah. So, if the folks are still watching, I appreciate you all watching. But, if you're all watching, I want to give like a little bit of juice because, Buzz, maybe you can kind of give them like some background of like what you used to do, and then we can kind of talk about, the fish, smelling stuff, to kind of give you some credibility.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so I'm a zoologist and an ecologist at heart. I used to train college kids how to become zookeepers and worked in the zoo field for a long time. So I've always been an outdoors person, spent most of my life outdoors and feel really comfortable on lakes, water, outdoors. I hiked the Appalachian Trail in the past, so being outside is a big part of my life, and as a fishing guide in north central Florida, really got a chance to get a taste of what it's like watching people catch fish like today.
Yeah, but you know, speaking of like getting a taste, you know, I think a lot of us, you know, we'll use like what power bait. You know, it has taste. We'll put bait fuel on our lures. But you know, one of the things I never thought about was like the fish's smell. So that's one of the conversations that I was having with Buzz in the car, and I thought it was really interesting. But maybe you can kind of summarize.
Yeah. So you know, the fish do have the ability to they can taste, and so sense and attractions, especially when the fishing is tough, and it was pretty tough today. You'll use that. Sometimes it can just make all the difference, especially holding on to your bait for a longer time. So I'll tend to use things like bait fuel and other scents when we're struggling, or I don't put on crankbaits or anything plastic. It always goes on soft plastics.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it works. I certainly have gotten more bites in tougher conditions. You can watch some of my videos online too. Like I fish for an hour and then put bait fuel on, and the third. This is not. I'm not sponsored by bait fuel. I just think it works. But yeah, I put it on, and 3 casts later, you got a fish. So.
But the nostrils thing though, you know, that's something I never thought about. You know, the fish, you know, be able to smell.
Yes, yeah. So they're bringing in water into their mouth and to their gills, they have that ability to pick out different scents, and using their lateral lines and their vision, depending upon the clarity of the water, really. You can cause these strikes to happen if you understand and observe some of those things about your water and your conditions, and know a little bit about the biology of bass.
Yeah, so I think that's what's really neat, and that's what's really cool, you know, about you know, fishing with some different folks, and you get to learn some different things. But
guys, here we are at the end of the day. Just caught this guy on a Spro rock crawler. What did it weigh? 4.6?
4.67.
Healthy little fish.
Look at that
here,
belly,
chick.
man.
He's still feeding. Just want to thank my buddy Buzz for inviting me out here. I'm trying to catch some big ones.
Yeah. We'll do the release.
you know, are still watching, I appreciate it. Buzz, you talked about your YouTube channel. You want to give the viewers what the name of that?
Yeah, thanks. It's Kingfisher Kayak Adventures is my YouTube channel. Also on Instagram and Facebook. And Beeline Fishing is another Instagram. I'd probably post on that, an Instagram page that I use on a regular basis. So love to see you on there.
All right, guys, it's been a long day. We've been out there for a little bit. We had about a 40-minute drive back to PB Lodge, and so now it's time to get some dinner. And tomorrow we're gonna hit up the north end of the lake, right?
Yeah, we're gonna try the north end. Some areas that you know, just try to get a good view of a good central view of what this whole lake is like, and maybe find a couple spots that might be juicy for the tournament. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all later.
Peace.